I'm Carina Bontia. I am a public and nonprofit administration major in the School of Public Affairs and Administration, and I'm going to be graduating in May 2025. So I've had a pretty long journey with ILE. I started with New Hampshire, and then I traveled to Tanzania and Zanzibar. After that, I was able to go on an internship program with the office, and I went back to the Croca Expeditions, which is actually the Wilderness Expedition School and the Sustainable Farm where we stayed in New Hampshire for the New Hampshire program. So I stayed there for two and a half months. I lived the lifestyle of all the staff members. We lived in the tents, and I was able to join an expedition program with young kids as well. I was mostly working in the accounting department and doing a lot of the administrative work in the office. Other than that, there were some chores that needed to be done, like farmhouse chores, greenhouse, the treehouse project, and so I was able to participate in those projects as well. One of the other bigger projects that I was able to participate in through the office was the extended study. So that took place in summer. This August 2024, I went with 3 other students who had an internship in India and Nepal. My research was about investigating how donors react to learning about nonprofit organizations engaging in commercial activities. My assumption coming in to doing this research was that a lot of the people who find out that I'm a public and nonprofit administration major, they ask why some nonprofits charge fees for their programs if they're called nonprofits. So I wanted to try and investigate what it's like in Nepal, and the organization that I selected was Kevin Rohan Memorial Eco Foundation. This is an eco-friendly foundation operating in the mountainous regions in Nepal, and they have their own farm. They do work with the leprosy colony, and they also help support the neighboring communities around them by employing the women and those who just don't have jobs in general. They train the women in jewelry making and beekeeping, farm work, just so they have something to sustain themselves with. When I was growing up, I really wanted to be an environmentalist or do something for the environment. That was really my passion. But growing up from a middle-class family, you can't really afford to follow your passion. So I was chasing other career paths. So I was in industrial engineering, business or accounting. I was already studying public administration, and I thought this was a great opportunity for me to build my passion with my current field. So I tried pursuing it, and that's how I joined the New Hampshire program. My main takeaways is that you can't escape uncomfortable spaces. You always gotta try to put yourself out there if you wanna grow. I think the most challenging part of the program for me was definitely canoeing for 4 days down the Connecticut River. I didn't prepare for that physically. I just thought it was gonna be an easy activity, but it wasn't. We were canoeing, some of the days we were canoeing for 6 hours, and oh my goodness, my arms and my ribs were hurting so much. The memorable part of the program was really just being around amazing people. I didn't expect for our cohort to get along really well. 2 years later, I'm actually still friends with them, and I'm planning on backpacking with them. We actually have one coming up soon, and that's been one of the really good memories that I've had. The other thing that I forgot to mention was that I was also part of the Tanzania and Zanzibar program in 2023. That was the second program that I went on, and one of the memorable things about that program was we actually got to witness one of the male rites of passage in the Maasai tribe, which only happens once every 7 years. And it was really amazing to see how they conducted this ritual. There were a lot of young boys that were about to become men through this rite of passage, and we were told that they've been celebrating from midnight until we came there. So they've been dancing and singing for a very long time. It's given me the confidence to be a leader. Being an immigrant, I didn't really know my stance kind of here in America. It was hard to navigate and find my confidence when working with other people. But through this program, like working really closely with my batchmates, being with them all the time for 10 to 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, really helped me just realize a lot of things that I could be a leader. Definitely one of the biggest projects that we work on these programs is installing solar suitcases in communities that don't have reliable access to electricity. I think that's really impactful because these solar suitcases are installed in schools where kids go to learn, and if they don't have light, in a dark area, it's very hard for them to see and it affects their grades. We actually got to do this in Tanzania, and I was in the classroom and it was pretty dark and it's hard for students to see, and some of the students live there. They have a boarding school, and so they don't really have anywhere else to go to study other than that area, and it's a pretty isolated area too. I think the ILE program is really uniquely structured to push students out of their comfort zone, push them mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And throughout these experiences, you have Professor Walton, who's actually able to guide you, and as well as the ground coordinators. It depends on the program. You can have help from the ground coordinators or the trip leaders on the eco-immersion programs who have a lot of wisdom and knowledge to be able to guide you. I would say don't let some of the barrier entries stop you. It can be difficult, especially financially. That was actually my barrier to entry at first, but I really pushed myself to participate in the program because I saw the value in it, and I don't regret it at all. Paying for the tuition and the program cost was worth it. And yeah, if you really want to do this, you'll be able to find a way to navigate that challenge.